Hey everyone, it's Andrew Warner, founder of mixergy.com, home of the ambitious upstart. And I recently, as you can see by the way, I'm not in my office. I'm at South by Southwest, but I still recorded an interview for you with Brian Johnson, which I'm going to give you a little bit of information from here in the video. If you want more, I've got it in the text. And if you want it all, download and listen to the interview that I recorded with Brian Johnson. He's a three-time entrepreneur. He launched 2 companies with outside funding and sold them, and now he's working on his 3rd company. Here are 3 things that he learned from that experience. Number 1, don't start with the masterpiece. And by the way, I get this over and over in all of my interviews. Don't start with the masterpiece. Launch something crappy and then build it and improve it. So his first company was called E-Teams. The goal there was to organize the registration and in fact everything that had to do with kids sports teams. And he had a competitor who was also charging at this market, and they both had a vision of doing all of this for kids, organizing everything to do with sports teams. What he found was that the competitor was working on the Death Star, trying to give the user everything. But what parents really wanted was to just see their kids sliding into third base. In other words, they wanted something really basic. So the Death Star that his competitor launched was essentially a Death Star pointing at itself, spending too much money and resources developing something that users don't want. And the real solution was to build something simpler, which is what Brian started out with. Second thing we learned, nose bloodied. The reason that he got an investor for his second company, Zods, was that his investor was impressed and proud and respected how Brian had his nose bloodied with his first company, but still picked himself up off the mat and got back into the fight. He said that's one of the reasons why he invested in Brian's company. And I say that here in this summary, and I made sure to bring this up to you because I see a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of wannabe entrepreneurs who say, I'd like to start a business, but I'm not sure if I'll succeed. I need to make sure that everything's perfect, that I have exactly the right money that I need, that I have exactly the experience that I need. By the way, how many entrepreneurs do you know go work somewhere to get experience before starting a company? That's not what it takes. What it takes is getting into that ring. And even if you get bloodied, as long as you pick yourself back up, you're going to get investors, you're going to get customers, you're going to get the respect of people in the business world. So get in that friggin' ring. All right, third thing, you don't need outside funding. In fact, Brian's latest company, Philosopher Notes, summarizes the wisdom in books. And he doesn't need outside funding for it, so he's not going for it. He's just building it on his own. In fact, when he and I recorded the interview that I hope you'll download, he was in Bali. He was just recording it from Bali where he's building his business. He doesn't even need to be in an office, and he doesn't need to be in the US, and he doesn't need to be in Europe. He just can be out wherever he wants to in the world. And we talked about how one of the reasons that entrepreneurs want funding is they want someone with money to say, I love you, entrepreneur. I respect you. I know you're going to do something right. That's why they really want money. And really, you shouldn't need that as an entrepreneur. The way that you get that satisfaction of having, of being told you're on the right track is to launch your business and see it be on the right track and get that validation from your customers, not from investors. All right, so this is just a little bit of what he and I talked about. He talks in more detail in the interview, which I hope you'll download. You're going to hear about how he had to close and leave one of his companies. You're going to hear one of the things that he did that helped change his attitude so that even when he was at a low point financially, he was still strong and motivated and excited to get to work and still positive enough to run a company. You're going to hear about how he got his funding. You're going to hear so much more. I'm going to be done here with this video. I want you to go download the interview right now and come back to Mixergy and tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Andrew Warner. I'll see you in the comments. Looking forward to hearing your feedback.